We all have experienced moments in our lives where we felt extreme anxiety or fear, so much so that it threatened to consume us and overwhelm our entire being. Moments where logic seemed to abandon us and rationality took a back seat to primal instincts of fight, flight, or freeze. We might have found ourselves paralyzed by the immensity of an upcoming presentation, frozen by the unexpected confrontation with a past trauma, or overwhelmed by the vast uncertainties of our future prospects. And in those moments, the consequences of our actions or inaction could be significant. The outcome of a job interview, the health of our relationships, or even our physical safety might hang in the balance. If you're feeling anxious right now, I want you to know that you're not alone. Anxiety is one of the most prevalent mental health challenges today. It affects millions of people worldwide and can significantly impact our daily lives. But what if instead of viewing anxiety as a problem to be solved, we approached it as a potential catalyst for growth, understanding, and self-mastery? What if the key to overcoming anxiety lay not in eliminating it, but in understanding and harnessing its power through the application of logic? In this video, we are going to explore how we can use Aristotle's logic, a powerful tool of philosophical inquiry to gain clarity, confidence, and composure in moments of fear and uncertainty. By understanding and applying Aristotle's logic, we can learn to transform anxiety from a source of debilitating fear into a wellspring of insight and wisdom, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and effectiveness. The first step in Aristotle's logic is to clearly identify and define the problem or situation that we're facing. This may seem like a simple enough task, but it's often easier said than done, especially when we're in a state of heightened emotions like anxiety. When we're anxious, our thoughts tend to race, and our emotions run high, making it difficult to focus and articulate exactly what is causing our distress. However, it's crucial to make this first step, to pause amidst the chaos of our thoughts and feelings, and attempt to clearly identify the root of our anxiety. A helpful technique to do this is to ask ourselves some guiding questions. What specifically is causing me anxiety? Is it a particular thought, memory, or expectation? How did I arrive at this thought? What evidence do I have to support it? What assumptions am I making? By honestly and openly reflecting on these questions, we can start to untangle the complex web of thoughts and feelings that contribute to our anxiety. For example, let's say you're feeling anxious about an upcoming job interview. Instead of letting your thoughts spiral into worst-case scenarios, take a moment to identify the specific cause of your anxiety. Is it the fear of being judged or evaluated negatively by the hiring manager? Is it the pressure of performing well to secure the job offer? Or is it something else entirely? Once you've identified the specific cause of your anxiety, you can begin to explore it more deeply and understand its root. After identifying the problem, the next step in Aristotle's logic is to gather relevant information and evidence. This involves actively seeking out data and insights that can help us better understand the situation causing our anxiety. Again, this step may not be easy, especially when anxiety is clouding our judgment and limiting our ability to think clearly.
However,
with some effort and determination, we can overcome this initial hurdle and gather valuable information that can help us better navigate the situation. To do this, we can employ several strategies. If our anxiety is rooted in a specific thought or belief, we can challenge it with evidence and reason. For instance, if we believe that we're likely to fail the job interview because we're not qualified enough, we can examine the evidence for and against this belief. Are there specific aspects of the job description that indicate that we lack the necessary skills and experience? Have we received feedback from others who believe that we're unqualified? Or are we simply experiencing self-doubt and insecurity? Similarly, if our anxiety stems from a traumatic memory or experience, we can seek to gather more information about the event itself and our emotional response to it. What happened during the traumatic event? How did it affect us and others involved? And what role does this event play in our current feelings of anxiety? Gathering this information can help us better understand the nature of our anxiety and develop more effective strategies for managing it. Additionally, talking to others and seeking their perspectives can also be invaluable in this stage of the process. Friends, family members, and mental health professionals can offer support, guidance, and fresh insights that we may not have considered previously. By actively seeking out relevant information and perspectives, we can build a more complete and accurate understanding of our situation and develop more effective strategies for managing our anxiety. Once we've gathered sufficient information, the third step in Aristotle's logic is to evaluate and analyze our thoughts, beliefs, and expectations in light of the evidence we've collected. This step involves assessing the validity and soundness of our reasoning and challenging any irrational or unfounded beliefs that may be contributing to our anxiety. To do this effectively, we can employ several critical thinking techniques. One useful approach is to construct a formal argument, outlining our premises and conclusions. For example, if we believe that we're likely to fail the job interview because we're unqualified, our argument might look something like this. Premise 1, I'm not qualified for this job. Premise 2, if you're not qualified, you won't get hired. Conclusion, therefore, I will not get hired. By constructing our argument in this way, we can more easily identify any logical fallacies or weaknesses in our reasoning. In this case, we can see that the argument relies on a false dilemma fallacy, assuming that the only possible outcomes are being fully qualified and getting hired or being unqualified and not getting hired. This oversimplification ignores the possibility that hiring decisions are based on a variety of factors and that there are multiple paths to success. Similarly, if our anxiety stems from a traumatic memory, we can analyze our beliefs and expectations surrounding the event itself. Are we holding on to any rigid or unrealistic beliefs about the event or its aftermath? Are we expecting certain outcomes that are unlikely or impossible to occur? By carefully examining our thoughts and beliefs, we can identify any cognitive distortions or biases that may be fueling our anxiety and hindering our ability to move forward. With a clearer understanding of our anxiety and its root causes, we can now move on to the fourth step in Aristotle's logic, which is to consider alternative explanations, possibilities, and perspectives. This step involves broadening our perspective and challenging our own assumptions and biases. To do this effectively, we can employ several techniques. One useful approach is to brainstorm a list of alternative explanations for the situation causing our anxiety. For example, if we're feeling anxious about the job interview because we believe we're unqualified, we can challenge this belief by listing all the reasons why we might actually be qualified. Have we gained relevant skills and experience since the last time we applied for a similar role? Have we improved our qualifications through additional education, training, or professional development? By actively seeking out alternative explanations and considering different perspectives, we can challenge our own biases and broaden our understanding of the situation. This can help us to see the problem more objectively and develop more balanced and adaptive responses. Additionally, talking to others and seeking their input can also be beneficial in this stage of the process. Friends, family members, and mental health professionals can offer support, guidance, and fresh insights that can help us see the situation in a new light. By considering alternative explanations, possibilities, and perspectives, we can challenge our own assumptions and develop a more nuanced and adaptive understanding of the situation causing our anxiety. This can lead to more effective problem solving and a greater sense of clarity and control over our emotional state. Finally, once we've considered alternative explanations and perspectives, the fifth step in Aristotle's logic is to draw reasonable conclusions and make informed decisions based on the best available evidence. This final step is crucial for effectively managing anxiety and moving forward in a healthy and productive way. To do this effectively, we can employ several strategies. One useful approach is to weigh the pros and cons of each possible course of action, considering the potential benefits and drawbacks of each decision. For example, if we're anxious about speaking up in a meeting at work, we can weigh the pros and cons of doing so versus staying silent. On the one hand, speaking up may help us establish our credibility and advance our career, but it may also put us in a position of vulnerability and potential conflict with colleagues. By carefully considering the potential risks and rewards of each decision, we can choose the option that aligns best with our values, goals, and priorities. Additionally, seeking the input of trusted friends, family members, or mentors can also be invaluable in this stage of the process. By listening to the perspectives of others, we can gain new insights and make more informed decisions that we feel confident in and committed to. Ultimately, the goal of this final step is to make a decision that we can feel good about regardless of the outcome. By following Aristotle's logic and engaging in thoughtful, deliberate reasoning, we can turn our anxiety into a catalyst for growth. Learning and self-mastery. This process allows us to approach challenges with greater clarity, confidence, and composure, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and meaningful life.